got somebody that put on a whole entire generation. Without her, half of the rap game does not exist. She's a pioneer, she's a legend, and she's one of the greatest rappers to ever rap this shit. Number 4, we got Lil' Kim. Lil' Kim put on a whole entire generation of females. You know what I'm saying? We know Lil' Kim from Junior Mafia. That's her first come up. Lil' Kim just first came onto the game on Players Anthem as the female rapper from Junior Mafia. That was her debut. And then what I didn't know was her first single was No Time with Puffy. I didn't know that. I thought Crush on You came out first. Crush on You came out second. Crush on You came out, listen. And then not to mention her classic verse on It's All About the Benjamins with Diddy. One of the greatest performances on record of all time. Then in 1996, she released her album Hardcore. And, you know, like, Hardcore changed the game. It's one of the top 50 albums of all time, rap albums. Lil' Kim made it cool to still be a woman and be pretty and still out-rap the niggas. You know what I'm talking about? Because everybody before her was like a B-girl. You had to be a B-girl, like Salt and Pepper, like MC Lyte, like Queen Latifah. You know what I mean? Lil' Kim was like, I'm gonna go to the fucking award show with my right titty out, with a cover on it. I'm gonna wear high heels. I'm gonna look like a Barbie doll. And I'ma still get on records with some of the hardest motherfuckers in the game, nigga. I'ma rap. I'ma go toe to toe with Biggie. I'ma get on a record with Nas. I'ma get on a record with Jay-Z. I'ma get on a record with all the best rappers in the game, like a Bun B or a Twista or just anybody. And I'ma still be that bitch. That's pause. Like, that's just Lil' Kim, man. Then obviously the aforementioned Not Tonight, which she spearheaded the remix, because that was Lil' Kim's song, and she let all the girls in. And see, this is what Lil' Kim talking about. Like, Lil' Kim didn't care about another woman outshining her, because she the type that put on. I'm gonna get on this record with the Brat. I'm gonna put Missy on. I'm gonna put Left Eye on. I'm gonna put Angie Martinez on. She ain't never rapped before. I'm gonna put her on. You know, Foxy and her got into her little two-step or whatever, but that was competition. You know, she shined on the Junior Mafia album, especially on Get Money. That was a classic verse, and the remix. Then, you know, Biggie died, and people was wondering what the fuck Kim was gonna do. And she was just like, all right, I'm gonna take on that persona. I'm gonna be the Notorious Kim. So she dropped her second album in 2000 with No Matter What They Say. Kind of an underrated Lil' Kim song. They don't mention that song enough. That song was everywhere. How Many Licks with Cisco, where she took on that Barbie persona. You know what I'm saying? How Many Licks with Cisco was a big record. And then in 2001, she appeared on Lady Marmalade, where they pretty much remade Lady Marmalade and put Christina Aguilera, Maya, and Pink on it. And that song went #1. So Lil' Kim got her first #1 hit with Lady Marmalade. And Missy Elliott was the one that put that together. See, this is what I mean. Like, back in the 2000s, late 90s, you know what I mean? Females put other females on. That's what they did, you know? And then the Notorious K.I.M., you know, was a successful album. Then you had her next album in 2003, you know, that had The Jump Off. That was one of her biggest records. You know, then The Magic Stick came out with 50 Cent, Thug Love with Twista. La Bella Mafia was fire. That's a very underrated album. Hardcore, I already told you that was a classic. I mean, La Bella Mafia and Notorious K.I.M., I mean, I wouldn't say that they're classic albums, but they were close. You know, it's debatable, for sure. Then, 2005, you know, she had to do some time. You know, I hate to do the Malika Andrews to Kim, but, you know, she ain't snitch. You know what I mean? That was like a big thing back then because, you know, most females would get on the stand and tell expeditiously. Lil' Kim didn't say nothing. Just held it down for Brooklyn. While everybody else testified in court, Lil' Kim committed perjury and had to do a year and a day in jail. But she was putting out her album, The Naked Truth, where she revealed everything. You know what I mean? And she was really raw with it. Then, she dropped Lighters Up for The Naked Truth and Whoa. Those were two big singles as well. The Naked Truth was a classic album too, because this is peak Lil' Kim. Then Lil' Kim went on hiatus, and all of a sudden, you know, Nicki Minaj and her got into her back and forth where she destroyed Nicki Minaj on Black Friday. And then Lil' Kim manifested a lot of things. She said that Nicki Minaj wanted to be the only female rapper, and she was right. You know, and they pretty much X-Kim out the game. You know, the machine, that dirty machine called the music industry, you know what I mean, that's like, all right, we support Nicki Minaj, she's new, she's hot, get Lil' Kim old ass out the game. That's how they did it. Then Lil' Kim returned in 2018 with an album called 9. 9 is a slept-on project. You know, she put out a single with the City Girls and OT Genesis called Found You, and then Go Off, which is probably my favorite song on 9. You know, she had that record with Rick Ross and Music Soul Child. But overall, and then we gotta talk about the features. Obviously, we already talked about the Benjamins, but I Can Love You, that's one of the more iconic verses in rap history, especially not just by a female, but just by anybody. You know what I mean? I Can Love You was a big record. I don't think we understand each other when we say this, man. Then Money, Power, Respect, probably a top 5 greatest hook in rap history, hands down. Shit, this was a #1 rap record. I didn't know that. Wow. Then, of course, the iconic Quiet Storm remix verse, where she went at everybody on that motherfucker. And then, of course, You Don't Wanna Play Around With Me with Lil C's. Then, of course, No, Notorious. And then her verse on Wait a Minute is a classic. It's the little one, and I'm not Bow Wow. Then her appearance on Sugar with Trick Daddy. Fire. Then she got on another #1 R&B record called Let It Go with Keisha Cole. That's a classic. Lil' Kim carved out a legacy for many, many females to exist and to be like, okay, you could be a pretty girl and you could show some skin. But, you know, the only issue with that was some people just took it too goddamn far. When Lil' Kim showed you how to be sexy and not go too far. You know, because Lil' Kim took a lot of heat for a lot of females today, man. Like, they would try to get on her on them talk shows. They would diss her in the media. They'd be like, Lil' Kim is a hoe, this, that, and the third. It's just like, damn. Like, I can't wear skin tight clothes. I can't show my titties. You know what I mean? You know, now you got OnlyFans now. OnlyFans wouldn't exist without Lil' Kim. I'm sorry, bro. You know, Cardi B wilding out on the internet, that wouldn't have existed without Kim. Like, Kim and Foxy Brown, like, carved a whole entire lane out for females. And you gotta salute that.